do that very quickly. All right. So here are the notes that I made for you. Finding common denominators using the funky 1 and equivalent fractions. Common means the same. Denominators are the bottom number of our fraction, and we are going to use the funky 1 and equivalent fractions. Like I said, this is important so we can add, subtract, and compare fractions. So step 1 is listing the multiples of both denominators, those bottom numbers. So I have a denominator of 4 and a denominator of 6, and I listed the multiples. 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 5 is 20, and 4 times 6 is 24. And then I'm going to do the same for my second denominator, 6. 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24, and 6 times 5 is 30, and 6 times 6 is 36. All right, so now that we have listed the multiples of both denominators, our step 2 is to circle the first multiple that they have in common. This is our least common multiple, and this is going to be our common denominator, which we are trying to find. So let's take a look and see the first one we have in common. Oh, I see it. It's 12. So I'm going to go ahead and circle 12 and 12. So we found our common denominator. Step 3 is to multiply by that funky 1, which we learned about in the very beginning of our unit. So I'm going to multiply 1 times 4 by a fraction that is equivalent to 1 to get a denominator of 12. So I'm thinking to myself, 4 times 1 equals 12. And we know that it's 3. So inside my funky 1 goes 3 over 3. And now I multiply across. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12, and that's our common denominator. And then I'm going to do the same for 2, 6. So 6 times what is equal to 12? Oh, I know that. It's 2. So inside my funky 1 goes 2 over 2. And then you multiply across. 2 times 2 is 4. 6 times 2 is 12, our common denominator. So we found equivalent fractions, 4/12 and 3/12.